Hey guys, my name is Remington Cook. I'm starting this channel to teach guitar and more specifically to teach music theory, how it relates on the guitar, but also how you can take music theory and carry it over to other instruments, as far as counting and rhythm, what you can do with that on drums, being able to take, your hopefully future knowledge of scales and chords from here and maybe play it on a keyboard, pick up a violin and figure it out. Once you learn theory, it kind of unlocks all musical instruments to a degree, as long as you know some basics about that instrument, such as if it's a string instrument, what is each string tuned to, then you know which notes to build off of that. Piano, which notes land where, because all the white keys are, in the key of C major and all these things. And D is in the doghouse is how I remember piano. The two black keys, the single white that's between them, that's a D. And then you can take all this theory stuff and kind of sling it onto a piano, knowing where D is. A little bit about myself. I got my first guitar when I was 14. I've been playing I'm 36 now, so 22 years. Awesome math on the fly, doing fine already. I don't only play fingerstyle and classical guitar. I'm really big into definitely a metalhead. I love death metal, deathcore. As far as playing style, I don't listen to a lot of country, but I play country too. I'm aware that it's a style, bluegrass, definitely that you can do it fingerstyle or pick style. And so these lessons I want to put together will not just be for fingerstyle or acoustic guitars. You'll be able to take all of this knowledge and sling it onto an electric guitar and play metal or play rock or even get a Telecaster and play country licks. The idea is that I've heard a lot of people say they think that music theory boxes in creativity, and I don't agree at all. I think it opens all the doors. It certainly makes things more attainable, easier, as you understand theory in a deeper way. If there's a sound you're hearing in your head, you're not noodling around trying to find it. You just know where to go. Or if you've written a song and now you want to play kind of a lead or a solo on it, you're not looking around for things. You don't have to, use the old ear and be like, does that sound right? Is that thing okay? You kind of you get this big roadmap and you go, all right, well, over those chords, I can go this way. And you don't have to ask any of these questions. And you don't waste time. If you're stuck in a spot in a song and you're trying to maybe, go from a verse to a chorus, you can make that transition much easier if you have these building blocks or tools at your disposal. Now, there's tons of people that don't know theory that write fantastic songs. And that is a way to do it. And if that's how you want to do it, then where I go from here with this channel, this is probably not the channel for you. Also, if you see that I have a guitar and you're like, oh, maybe this guy's going to teach me how to play, a minuet by Bach or on the guitar or something. That's not at all what I'm aiming at here either. This is all for you to learn theory, learn about the guitar as well, and then take and write your own music. Take these ideas and make your own thing. Express yourself. Tell your own story. If you want to learn other people's songs, there's plenty of channels, where you can type in, how to play Sad But True. And you can find a ton of videos and you can learn how to play it. I'm not really going to be doing any of that. I might at some point kind of look at either popular songs or songs people know and kind of look into the theory of what's going on a little bit, maybe in the future. As of right now, how I'm going to kind of divide up my channel is sort of in these, I've got 4 different directions I'm going to go with this. One is just going to be guitar, and it will be for beginner through to advanced. But when I say beginner, I'm saying if you were 9 years old and sat down and start watching probably the next video I'm going to make, you'd be able to understand how to tune the guitar, how to play a couple of chords, understand the scale, know where the notes are, and start learning guitar. It'll be like one-on-one lessons, but in these, hopefully, I'll keep the videos like 5 to 10 minutes. I think is kind of my goal. This one might be a little bit longer because I'm rambling, and it's more just to get to know who I am, what the goal is. And so now I said 4 parts, one being guitar, from front to back, well, there is no back, right? The sky's the limit. You can just keep learning more. So there is no front to back. It's just front till infinity. And then theory wise, though, this is where the other kind of 3 streets I'm going to take are, because I'm going to do theory, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. The reason for that is I didn't want somebody that already kind of knows some things to stumble onto this channel and start watching beginner videos and being like, well, this dude's never going to catch up to where I'm at because he's still talking about, the 1, 4, and 5 of a major key. So I'm going to try to kind of serialize the videos and make sure they're divided in a way to where you can see that, okay, this one's for intermediate, this one's for beginner, this one's for advanced. And those are the 3 avenues I'm going to take. And they, like I said, they'll be serialized. So if you see an I, it'll be the title, and then I, probably a couple other letters like MT for music theory, and then the numbers so I know how many, where I'm at. If you see an I, it's intermediate. If you see an A, advanced. If you see a B, beginner. That's kind of how I'm going to approach it for now, and stay fairly organized. I hope, I can, when I start talking about these things, I actually get kind of pumped about it because I have no friends and I'm a nerd, and I could maybe take a left turn on you. A little bit more about myself quick, and then I'll try to wrap this up. So I've been playing guitar about 22 years. When I was 24 years old, so 10 years into playing guitar. Before that, I taught myself. I played in band. I played saxophone. I knew, key signatures when you're reading music. I knew how to read that stuff. I knew what all the notes were. I knew that sometimes you'd see like 1 sharp, which is F sharp, which meant you were either in E minor or G major. Then I got a guitar, got a guitar book, and I started figuring out scales, started putting together like which chords belong with those scales, started writing my own music. My brother and I started a band. I think I was 15 and a half. I couldn't drive yet. I remember him driving me so that we could play these shows in the bars and stuff. And I was, for the most part, the sole songwriter. And for some reason, I was fairly, and people enjoyed hearing what we were playing. I felt like I was fairly good at it. I feel like I've continued to get better at it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. I feel like I do have something to offer people in the way of learning how to write songs and kind of express ideas, and especially on a guitar, knowing, what's going to work, what's going to be easier, when you may need to tune the guitar different or grab a capo, those kind of things. Piano's a little more wide open, right? Because everything's right there. You can play in any key you want at any time. A guitar gets a little weird when you want to play, say you want to play an A flat, and your bar chord and everything right here, that gets a little, sucks. So you can grab a capo, but now you can't go back here ever. So the limits and how to kind of overcome those will be discussed to a degree. So then when I was 24, I went to college. I really didn't like it. I was going to quit. And one of my teachers finally said, hey, why don't you try being a music major first? I'm like, all right. So my second year of college, I switched to majoring in music. 2 years of music theory I took there. And that goes pretty deep. You get into just shy of like real crazy jazz theory, which I've since then kind of got into some of that and started to understand the connections they make there. But when I started taking these music theory courses, I was just, my brain just lit up. It was the most excited I've ever been about anything in my life. I still am, and I feel like a dork, but I just love it, man. Like all the keys, how the chords relate to each other, different time signatures, I just love that stuff. It fascinates me. It can be very difficult, but it's awesome once you start to figure it out. It's kind of like, you know, if you're watching a movie and somebody's trying to figure out this really crazy equation and they're a genius, you know, and you see all the numbers and letters and stuff just above their head, like they just get it. It's awesome when you feel that way about something. That's how I felt when I was learning theory. Like, this shit's hard, but it makes sense. You know, it's like, finally this all makes sense, and I'm loving every second of it. So I did all that, and also you have to, when you're a music major, you have to pick an instrument to major in. Well, at the time I was 24, I went to college late, and my professor was like, well, you play guitar, so you should probably just major in guitar. I got a cheap classical guitar. This is a classical guitar, nylon strings, flatter fretboard, wider fretboard, that kind of thing. And I had no idea how to read music for a guitar. I mean, I've been playing it for 10 years, but didn't really know how to read it. But again, I was so pumped that it just started to sink in really fast. And so for 3 years of college, I took, you know, real guitar lessons, learned classical guitar, started to pick up some more Spanish guitar, flamenco, that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of all over the map. Like, I love every aspect of guitar. I play piano too. Not awesome at reading music for piano, but I write music on the piano. I can play bass guitar too. Over next to me, you can't see it. I have a 7-string guitar, which I play on very, very often for more like all the metal stuff that I play. I play drums as well. I have a pretty good understanding of most string instruments like cello, violin, ukulele. As long as I know what the open notes are, from there I can put the chords together and find scales and stuff and go from there. And that's because of theory. I know, okay, these are the open notes. Here's where I can go with it. So anyhow, I feel like I've got off track a little bit. Let me check my notes. Yeah, I think I've covered most of that. Again, the biggest thing is, like, I want to help people understand how to write their own music, express their own ideas. I don't really care to teach anyone, like, here's how you go read a Mozart piece. That's really not that interesting to me. Mozart expressed his music already. Now I want to express my music or my ideas. So that's what I'll be teaching. Like I said, if you want to learn other people's songs, say you come on here and like, I want to learn all these Garth Brooks songs, you're going to have to search somebody else, because that's just not what I'm trying to do. I've never been super into that. I think in the bands I've been in my life, I've played like 3 cover songs. I don't know, I can't think of any song that I know front to back. It's just not my jam. So anyhow, thanks for listening to me muddle through this forever. It's my first one actually talking about music. This is very exciting for me. I've probably put off doing this way longer than I should have. This is what I should be doing with my time. So thanks for watching this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.